The Baltimore Ravens already tried to get him. Draft night, 5th round. They were ready to pull the trigger, papers in hand. And Shedeur Sanders? He turned them down. Bold, unprecedented. The kind of move that shook the NFL. He didn't want to sit behind Lamar Jackson. Didn't want to hold a clipboard. He wanted to play. Now, fast forward, and the story just got louder because Shedeur Sanders has a $90 million offer on the table to leave Cleveland before he's even had a full NFL season. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. $90 million. 65 guaranteed. Endorsements stacked. Even whispers of stadium naming rights thrown into the mix. One team is practically begging him, come be our franchise. Come be our future. And Cleveland? They've got him glued to the bench. This isn't just dysfunction. This is malpractice. A franchise with a quarterback graveyard so infamous it's become a meme finally stumbles into a generational talent. And somehow they're fumbling it. Again, let's be clear. This isn't just about football. This is about power. The $90 million isn't just cash. It's a neon billboard screaming, we see what Cleveland doesn't. The Ravens saw it first. Other teams see it now. The fans see it every time they show up wearing his jersey. The only people acting blind? The Browns front office and Kevin Stefanski. Because while Dylan Gabriel gets a start, Shedeur Sanders is the one carrying the aura, the one trending on Twitter despite never throwing a touchdown in regulation, the one selling jerseys coast to coast, from teenagers in New York to retirees in Arizona. He's the story. He's the future. He's the reason Cleveland even has hope left. And still they tell him, wait your turn. Imagine being Shedeur right now. You showed up to camp early, left late, mastered the playbook, lit up scrimmages, kept your head down in interviews, did everything right. And while you're sitting on the bench, franchises across the league are throwing blank checks and offering the keys to the building. Full creative control. Input on coordinators. Branding rights. Rumors of renaming the stadium after you. The Shadur Dome. The Prime Pavilion. Take your pick. Meanwhile, Cleveland's answer? Silence. Excuses. A stubborn attachment to the status quo. That's not just bad management. That's self-sabotage. Because the Browns know what they have. The talent's obvious. The leadership's already there. The fan base? They're chanting his name from the parking lot. But Cleveland has this fatal flaw. It's more committed to protecting its system than it is to winning. And that's why the league keeps passing them by. So now the clock is ticking. Shedeur's camp knows his value. The league knows his value. The only question is whether Cleveland will wake up or watch him walk. Because here's the truth. Shedeur Sanders isn't begging. He isn't waiting. He's ready. And if the Browns don't figure out fast, that $90 million offer might look like the smartest bet any franchise ever made. Let's talk stakes. The Browns have been down this road before. Talent walks in. Talent walks out. And the franchise stands there dumbfounded, holding a press release that says, we wish him the best. From Tim Couch to Johnny Manziel to Baker Mayfield, Cleveland has fumbled more quarterbacks than most teams have drafted. And now they're doing it again. But this one stings more. Because this isn't just a promising player. This is a transformational one. Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's a brand, a movement, a multi-million-dollar empire in cleats. And the league knows it. That's why teams are circling. That's why marketing firms are drafting mock-ups. That's why every sports outlet can't stop talking about him, even though he hasn't thrown a regular season NFL pass yet. It's not hype. It's inevitable. And Cleveland's sitting on a gold mine, acting like they found gravel. Meanwhile, inside the locker room, tensions are boiling. Sources say the veterans are split. Some back Shedeur openly, calling out the coaching staff in hush meetings, and even subtweeting decisions post-game. Others are just tired of watching leadership waste another season, tired of pretending everything's fine when it clearly isn't. And then there's the fans. Cleveland fans are loyal, like beyond reason loyal. These people have weathered decades of pain, heartbreak, and mediocrity with the patience of saints. But this might be their final straw. Because when the fans finally get a quarterback they believe in, and the team benches him for no good reason, you're not just losing games, you're losing trust. And once that goes, good luck getting it back. So what happens next? Shedeur's camp is silent. But make no mistake, that silence is strategic. Every day the Browns don't make a move is another day Shedeur gains leverage. And if he decides to leave, if he takes that $90 million, walks into a bigger market, and never looks back, it'll be the moment Cleveland's worst fear comes true. He'll become a superstar somewhere else. And the Browns? They'll become a trivia question. They'll be the team that had him, benched him, and lost him. No one forgets that story. No one forgives it either. But let's play devil's advocate. Let's say the Browns do wise up. Let's say they fire whoever needs firing, clear the way, and start Shedeur. Can they recover? Sure, but only if they go all in. No more maybe next week. No more we're still evaluating. No more gaslighting the fan base with vague quotes about development timelines. Shedeur needs to be the face of the franchise, period. And not just on billboards, on the field, in the huddle, on every snap. Because that's how you rebuild trust. That's how you keep the locker room intact. That's how you tell the world, we get it, we messed up, but we're fixing it. Do that, and maybe, just maybe, the ship can be saved. But if they don't, then here's how this ends. Shedeur walks, the Browns crumble, and every Sunday, while Cleveland limps through another quarterback crisis, the rest of us will be watching Shedeur light up the scoreboard somewhere else, with a smile, with swagger, with a fan base that appreciates him. And the Browns? They'll be the ones explaining, again, how they managed to blow the biggest opportunity they've had in a generation. So now it's your turn. If you're Shedeur, do you stay and fix Cleveland? Or take the money, take the respect, and become legendary somewhere else? Is this the Browns' fault, or is this just how the league works now? Drop your takes in the comments. Let's hear who you bet on. And if you love drama, power shifts, and NFL chaos that feels like it was ripped from a prestige TV script, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe. Because the saga of Shedeur Sanders, it's far from over. And when the next chapter drops, you're going to want front row seats. This isn't just a football story anymore. This is a battle for control. A generational shift, a war between tradition and transformation. Will one franchise try and keep things business as usual, and one 22-year-old quarterback forcing them to face the fact that the old way doesn't work anymore? Not for players, not for fans, not for anyone. And if the Browns keep pretending this is just a distraction, they're going to watch their future walk out the door, shake hands with another team, and become a Super Bowl contender overnight. Let's break this down. Why Shedeur matters so much? It's not just about his arm strength, or his accuracy, or his football IQ. Sure, he checks all those boxes. But what makes this kid dangerous? The reason teams are throwing $90 million in branding rights at him is because he represents something that terrifies NFL franchises. A player who doesn't need them. Shedeur is a system. He's already built his following. He's already a household name. He's not some unknown rookie, hoping to get a marketing deal in year 3. He's showing up with a camera crew, a signature move, and a fan base larger than half the AFC. And for a team like Cleveland, used to being the sun in its own solar system, that's a problem. Because for once, the gravitational pull isn't coming from the franchise. It's coming from the player. Let's talk locker room politics. Right now, that Browns facility isn't just divided. It's on the verge of implosion. There are veterans who've been in the league long enough to recognize what's happening. They know what Shedeur is. They've seen special before. And they're sick of playing along with this development charade when everyone knows the best quarterback in the building is holding a clipboard on Sunday. Meanwhile, younger guys are stuck in limbo. Do they speak up and risk backlash from management? Or do they stay quiet and watch the ship sink, hoping someone else takes a fall? Then there's the coaching staff, specifically Kevin Stefanski. The man's walking a tightrope over a volcano. He's getting heat from upstairs, sideways looks from players, and full-on rage from fans. Every press conference is the same script. We believe in our guys. Shedur's time will come. We're building something special. Translation, we're scared of making the wrong move, so we're doing nothing. But here's the thing. Indecision is a decision. And in this case, it's the wrong one. Because the longer they wait, the more that $90 million offer starts to look like freedom, like validation, like a way out of this Cleveland chaos, without looking like the bad guy. Let's talk optics. Right now, Shadur is handling this like a master strategist. No tantrums, no subtweets, no shady interviews, just silence. And that silence, it's deafening. Every day he doesn't speak, the pressure builds. Every week he doesn't play, the questions grow louder. And every time another team whispers, "We'd start you tomorrow," that offer becomes harder to ignore. Cleveland, on the other hand, is losing the PR war in spectacular fashion. Fans are already turning. Petitions are circulating. Memes are flying. And every game they lose without Shadur on the field is another reminder that this franchise is addicted to its own mediocrity. And let's not pretend this is new. The Browns have a PhD in wasting quarterbacks. Remember that cursed jersey with all the QB names written down the back? It started as a joke. It ended as a symbol of failure. And if Shadur leaves, they'll have to add another name. Only this time, it won't be a bust. It won't be a flameout. It won't be a guy who couldn't cut it. It'll be a generational talent that they failed to use. And the NFL won't forget it. Let's imagine the other side. Picture Shadur landing in Vegas. Big market, big lights, big stage. They roll out the red carpet, drop a highlight reel on the Jumbotron. His face is on every bus. Every sports book starts shifting odds. He's QB1 before he even touches the ball. Week 1, he throws for 300 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. The crowd loses their mind. Twitter goes nuclear. Browns let this guy go? By midseason, he's the face of the league's new generation. Meanwhile, Cleveland is on their 3rd quarterback of the year. Stefanski is on the hot seat, and fans are organizing a "we try to tell you" tailgate in the stadium parking lot. That's the alternate reality. And it's not far-fetched, because talent like Shedur's doesn't sit quietly forever. And patience has a very short shelf life when you're watching your prime years waste away under fluorescent lights in a quarterback meeting you shouldn't be in. Let's bring it home. The Browns are at a crossroads. They can A, rip the bandage off, admit they mishandled it, fire whoever needs firing, start Shadur, build the offense around him, let the fans feel hope again. Or B, keep dancing, keep deflecting, keep pretending this is part of the plan. Watch him leave. Watch him win. Watch the fans never forgive them. There's no middle ground anymore. No safe option. Because Shadur has turned this into something bigger than Cleveland. Bigger than football. This is about power. Control. A new era. And whether the Browns like it or not, it's already here. Shadur Sanders. Still benched. Still silent. Still the most powerful man in Ohio, who hasn't even taken a regular season snap. And now, he's got a $90 million offer sitting in front of him, warm, waiting, and laced with freedom, fame, and full control. And Cleveland? Still fumbling the bag like it's tradition. Let's stop pretending this is just another QB situation. This is a franchise-shifting event. This is LeBron decision level. This is a king's speech. But instead of British royalty, it's a 22-year-old kid with 4.3 speed and a cannon arm wondering if staying in Cleveland is a career move or a career death sentence. And you know what the worst part is? Everyone but Cleveland sees it. The fans see it. The media sees it. The league definitely sees it. And the teams circling Dallas, Miami, Las Vegas, they're already writing the welcome to the future scripts. They've got the photographers on standby. Customized playbooks drafted, jerseys stitched. They've got Shadur Vision 2025 rolling in Dolby Surround. And the Browns? They're still trying to convince the world that Dillon Gabriel is the answer. No offense to Dillon, but come on, let's talk brass tacks. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just born into greatness. He's earned every step of this moment. He's been coached by Dion, trained under pressure, and raised in the age of NIL, branding, and generational leverage. This man is not just a football player. He's a movement with cleats on. And Cleveland is trying to treat him like a fourth-round experiment who needs to sit and learn. Learn what exactly? How to waste talent. How to play in a system that fears change more than it fears losing. Because make no mistake, this franchise has mastered the art of blowing golden opportunities. You remember when they passed on Deshaun Watson in the draft? When they fumbled Baker's development like a dropped snap in a snowstorm. And now, right on cue, they've got the quarterback of the future in the building, and they're acting like it's a hard decision. It's not. It's as clear as a pick six in double coverage. Start him. Build around him. Get out of his way. But instead, they're overthinking it, drowning in structure and process, and trust the system. You know what system they should be trusting? The one where you don't let $90 million of leverage walk out the door because your ego can't admit you were wrong about who should be starting. Let's shift focus to the fan base. Cleveland fans are done playing nice. You've got people bringing signs to the stadium. Local bars offering free shots if Shadur starts specials. Jerseys with duct tape over Gabriel and start to scrawled in Sharpie. They're not just angry, they're activated. And when Cleveland fans turn on their own front office, it's a wrap because this fan base isn't passive. It's personal. These are the same fans who painted murals of Baker Mayfield after one playoff win. They want to believe. But right now, the front office is asking them to ignore their eyes and trust a process that has never worked. It's like telling a kid there's candy in the empty bowl for the 24th Halloween in a row. At some point, they stop knocking. And if Shadur leaves, so do they? Because for the first time in a long time, they know they have a guy worth fighting for. And if the front office won't, then the fans will rage until someone listens. Or until they find another team that respects the player they never did. Now, let's talk big picture. What does this mean for the NFL? This whole saga is pulling back the curtain on something every executive has secretly feared. The player empowerment era is here, and it's wearing number 2. Shedeur Sanders is the prototype. Charismatic, media-trained, built-in brand, unapologetically aware of his value. And that scares people, because it means control is shifting. It means players are no longer waiting to be chosen. They're choosing. They're looking at franchises not as lucky destinations, but as partners. And if the vibe isn't right, if the culture is broken, if the vision is cloudy, they're out. And that's what makes Shedur's silence so powerful. He hasn't had to say a word, because every team that's paying attention is saying it for him. They're looking at Cleveland's dysfunction and whispering to themselves, "We'd never treat him like that." That's why the bidding war is so intense. This isn't just about football, it's about symbolism. Who gets to be the franchise that bet on the future? And who gets remembered as the one that let him go? So let's imagine how this plays out. Option A, he stays. Cleveland fires the necessary people. Shadur starts. They build around him. The offense clicks. The city explodes in energy. A 7-9 season turns into 10-6 the next year. Free agents start circling. The factory of sadness starts printing hope instead. Option B, he leaves. Gets traded to Miami. Tua gets moved. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle welcome Shadur with open arms. The Dolphins go 13-4. Primetime is back, this time on South Beach. Shadur signs with Beats, Nike, and Netflix within 6 months. The Browns go 5-12 as Stefanski is fired by midseason. ESPN runs a 30 for 30. How Cleveland lost a legend before he even started. Option C? There's no option C, because this moment is binary. You either evolve or you get left behind. And right now, Cleveland's still running Windows 95, while Shedur's operating on iOS 27. The writing's on the wall. The league has changed. The old rules are broken. And players like Shadur, they're not waiting to be given permission to lead. They're taking it. So Cleveland's got one final timeout, one final decision. Are you going to fight to keep the future, Or are you going to let him walk and watch him become everything you've ever wanted somewhere else? Because let me be crystal clear. He's going to win, whether it's in Cleveland or not. He's too smart, too skilled, too ready. The only question is whether he'll let this franchise ride shotgun in his journey, or if they'll be stuck watching from the rear view. At this point, it's not just a Shedeur Sanders story. It's a full-blown sports epic. We're not watching a quarterback controversy. We're witnessing the kind of generational fork-in-the-road moment that front offices fear, fans obsess over, and history never forgets. Let's push this thing further. Let's zoom out and talk legacy. Shedeur is staring down two doors. Behind one is Cleveland, familiar, frustrating, flawed. Behind the other, the unknown. But it comes with respect, control, and $90 million reasons to believe it's brighter. And here's what makes it all so dramatic. The Browns still think they're the prize. They're standing there like a toxic ex, wondering why the person they ghosted is suddenly being courted by someone better. Like, you had the chance. You had the guy. You knew he was special. And what did you do? You benched him. You gaslit the fans. You backed a mid-tier journeyman while generational talent sat 5 feet away with a helmet in his hand. How do you even come back from that? Oh, and now that the league is circling, now they're scrambling to reevaluate options. Suddenly there's a report about open quarterback competition. Suddenly Stefanski is warming up to giving Shedeur first-team reps. Suddenly everything they dismissed 3 weeks ago is on the table. Too late. You don't get to walk back months of disrespect just because someone else finally saw what you had and slid an offer across the table. Let's talk about the deal again. We're not just talking cash here. This isn't just a signing bonus. This is a once-in-a-career opportunity. The kind of offer that rewrites what's possible for rookies in the NFL. Guaranteed money, endorsements, creative control, input on coaching hires, a stake in the culture of the franchise. You know who gets that kind of treatment? Not even Patrick Mahomes. Not even Joe Burrow. That's LeBron James level leverage. And Shedeur didn't beg for it. He didn't hold a press conference. He didn't even leak a rumor. He just sat there and watched the league figure it out. So what's that tell you? It tells you he knows what he's worth. And that's the most dangerous kind of player. The one who isn't waiting for permission to be great. Now let's get even deeper. Because you know this ain't just football. This is generational. This is cultural. Shedeur Sanders, son of prime time himself, is embodiment of the new era of athletes. Media-savvy, business-minded, unapologetically confident. He's not here to wait his turn. He's not going to shrink himself to fit into some outdated blueprint that says you need to earn respect quietly. He is the brand. He is the headline. He is the future. And Cleveland? They don't know what to do with that because they built their entire identity on suffering, on patience, on waiting for something to work, and blaming everyone but themselves when it doesn't. But Shedeur isn't here to carry on your tradition of misery. He's not your next tragic chapter. He's trying to rewrite the whole book. So now we're back to the decision. If he stays, it's not because of Cleveland. It's in spite of them. If he stays, it'll be because he wants to be the one to flip the narrative, to go down as the guy who broke the curse, the savior who turned the factory of sadness into a championship machine. But let's be real. Why should he give them the redemption arc? Why should he fix a franchise that wouldn't even trust him enough to start? Let's say he leaves. Let's say he picks up the phone, signs a deal, and moves on. Cleveland becomes a meme, an example in leadership seminars of what not to do when you're handed greatness on a silver platter. They'll be remembered not for who they developed, but who they let get away. And Shedeur, he gets everything. The respect, the control, the city that wants him, a team that believes in him. And when he lights it up, when he throws for 4,000 yards and sells more jerseys than half the league combined, when he takes a team to the playoffs that wasn't even in the conversation, they'll say, he could have been doing this in Cleveland. But they'll say it past tense. And that's the kind of regret you never shake. Let's talk about the ripple effect. Because this doesn't end with Shedeur. His decision, whatever it is going to change how young quarterbacks think forever. The next college star with 1 million followers and nil millions? He's watching this unfold like at a masterclass, and he's taking notes. This is how you control your destiny. This is how you command respect. This is how you turn the NFL from a league that picks you into one where you pick them. Front offices around the country, they're already adjusting. Scouting departments are having meetings about off-field influence. GMs are suddenly talking about brand alignment. Why? Because the days of controlling the narrative are over. And players like Shedeur, they are the narrative now. So what happens next? The Browns have a very, very small window left to course correct. They can start Shedeur. They can clean house. They can issue public apologies and change the story. But even that might not be enough. Because sometimes once the damage is done, the only thing left is the exit. So now it's on you. If you're Shedeur, what's the play? Do you give Cleveland a second chance they don't deserve? Or do you take the power, the respect, and the future into your own hands? Sound off in the comments. I want to know what you do with the whole league watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more twists, turns, and total meltdowns like this one. Because this isn't just sports anymore. This is a power shift. And Shedeur Sanders? He's leading the charge.